we are only to determine if there are allegations in the verified complaint that constitute sufficient grounds for impeachment. The matter raised by the Honorable Lagman is treated in paragraph 2. If the committee finds that sufficient grounds for impeachment exist, the committee shall conduct a hearing. It is, I repeat, at the time of hearing that we have to determine the allegations that are sufficiently constitutive of grounds to impeach from those that are insufficient. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you,
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
What is the point of order?
The matter raised by the Honorable Lagman is just a suggestion, so it cannot be debated upon. Understandably, he is just raising it as a suggestion because he cannot put it into a motion, considering that he is not yet, he's not a member of this committee. Considering that none of the members of the committee take the cudgel of putting into a motion the suggestion of the Honorable Lagman, then this humble representation would like to proceed in moving in relation to this item number 5 of the agenda.
Mr. Chair.
But as a preliminary thereof, Mr. Chair, this representation would like to cite as a precedent. This is an explanatory note of my main motion now, which is
Mr. Chair.
a decision of this committee is equivalent to a jurisprudence in the case of the judiciary. In the case of the committee report number 778 of an House Resolution number 1089 dated March 15, 2011, this refers to the impeachment complaint filed against Ombudsman Maria Mercedes Navarro Gutierrez, wherein one of the sponsors is still our distinguished majority floor leader of this 17th Congress. The decision of the committee, which under page 23, which I would like to read. Pursuant to the standards that were carefully considered by the committee, the members thereof voted on the sufficiency of the grounds of impeachment of the 2 impeachment complaints on March 1, 2011. With a vote of 41 members in favor and 12 against, the motion to declare the sufficiency of the grounds of impeachment of the Barakel complaint was carried. The motion to declare the sufficiency of the grounds of impeachment of the Rios complaint was carried by a vote of 42 members in favor of 12 against. Therefore, the committee had voted upon and decided to treat the grounds on the basis of the complaint, not on the basis of the acts enumerated thereof. In that connection, Mr. Chair, I therefore move that there is a sufficiency of the grounds in the verified complaint for impeachment against Supreme Court Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno, filed by Attorney Lorenzo G. Gadon, endorsed by 25 House members.
Any second?
Mr. Chair. Point of order, Mr. Chair.
What's the point of order?
Paano po masasabi ni Kong Waminal na walang member na sumusuporta sa motion ni Kong Edsel? Hindi niyo pa po kami ni-recognize, kayo na pa po kami nakataas ng kamay. At ako po ay member ng committee ito. In fact, yun po ang gusto kong sabihin, that I support the points raised by Congressman Lagman, and therefore I move that based on his suggestion, that we decide on the sufficiency of the grounds per allegation.
Okay.
That pwede ko sanang sabihin
Congressman,
na...
What is the point of order?
Gusto ko pong mag-motion.
What is the point of order, Mr. Chairman?
What is the point of order?
Rules have been violated.
Yeah.
Anyway, just to clarify, you were not recognized as yet because the Honorable Uaminal was still has the floor, and I could not interrupt him to accommodate your raising of your hands, and that is the reason why you are not recognized. But you had been recognized, and so what is the point of order, Honorable Bagao?
Because I want to make a motion, Mr. Chair. His point was that he wants to
Anyway,
make
that
a
is not a
motion.
point of order. That is, if you want to make a motion, then so be it. Make the motion, and then we will consider that.
Mr. Chair,
Accept and
the parliamentary status is that there's a pending motion, duly seconded, and if the Honorable Bagao would like to raise her point, she can probably introduce it as an amendment or an objection to my motion, Mr. Chair.
I object to the motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there is a motion duly seconded, but let me just clarify that the motion is for the approval
Sufficiency.
of the sufficiency of grounds for impeachment. And that is what is pending before this committee that we will deliberate on and eventually vote upon. Para malinaw lang po, ano? We have discussed earlier yung point of the Honorable Lagman, and yun na nga, as was pointed out by the Honorable Vice Chair Oaminal, there was no motion, and therefore we cannot, we should not debate thereon under the rules. And likewise, the Honorable Lagman cannot raise that motion, not being a member, so that it was overtaken by events, and there is now a pending motion that is pending before us, and this is what this committee will rule upon.
Chairman.
So, before that, there is an objection. Can you please, you're given the floor to point out and state your objection. Explain your objection.
Well, first, Mr. Chair, I object to the motion to vote on the impeachment complaint against the Chief Justice Sereno based on sufficiency of grounds, because you were still discussing the point raised by Congressman Lagman to discuss the allegation one by one, and my basis for that is that sinasabi niyo po kanina na yung mga allegation ay pwede namang pag-usapan sa hearing. Pero yun nga ang point ng discussion na ito, di ba? Kung wala tayong makitang allegation sufficient to impeach the Chief Justice, hindi na natin kailangan pumunta sa susunod na hearing. Pangalawa, cause of actions can be severable. At in fact, in the preparation of impeachment complaints, dinidivide natin to on several grounds. So kung wala naman tayong makitang impeachable offense doon sa sinasabi yung 27 grounds, wala nang basihan para pag-usapan pa ang susunod na step. But be that as it may, since we have already said that the pending motion is whether to decide on the sufficiency of the grounds, well, I still maintain my first objection that when we vote, we still go back to the issue is really the point raised by Congressman Lagman. But since this is my time to object on the sufficiency of the grounds, I would like to object on the following. Number one, the grounds that have been mentioned by Attorney Gadon, most of them are not really impeachable. In fact, he admitted in his reply, sinabi niya na marami sa sinabi niya doon sa kanyang complaint ay hindi naman impeachable. Halimbawa po, charge 4.6, disclosure of SALN, statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth. Sa paragraph 11 ng kanyang verified reply, sinabi ni complainant Gadon na ang paratang na ito ay, in quotation marks, it may not yet be an impeachable offense. Pangalawa po, dun sa charge 5.1, acquisition of Toyota Land Cruiser. Sa kanyang verified reply din po sa paragraph 17.6, inamin mismo ni complainant na ang nasasakdal is allowed by some existing rules to purchase and use a luxury vehicle. At malinaw naman po yan sa DBM Administrative Order 233 at Supreme Court Resolution AM 170306 SC. At in fact po, pag sinabi natin na itong allegation na to ay impeachable, at dahil bumili lang round cruiser, considering na exempted ang Presidente, Vice President, Speaker of the House, Senate President, at ang Chief Justice ng Supreme Court sa prohibition in the acquisition and use of by government official of luxury vehicles. Pag ako lang po ang tatanungin ninyo, lumabas lang po tayo sa parking lot ng Congress, ay napakarami pong Land Cruiser. Sa charge 5.2, opo. Therefore, sinasabi ko po na hindi impeachable ang allegation ni Attorney Gadon. Charge 5.2, travels on business class. Sa paragraph 18.8 ng kanyang verified reply, inamin mismo ni complainant Gadon na what is at issue with the Chief Justice taking business class is not legal but proprietary. So therefore, kung allegation po ay violation of law, ay hindi po impeachable ang sinasabi ni Attorney Gadon. Charge 4.8, short list of the vacancies in the Sandigan Bayan. Paragraph 4.8 ng kanyang verified complaint, inakusahan ng complainant ang nasasakdal ng limiting the President's power to appoint the justices of the Sandigan Bayan through the clustering of nominees to the vacancies in the Sandigan Bayan. Ganun pa man, sinabi niya rin sa paragraph 13.1 ng kanyang verified reply, inamin ng complainant that the President's power was not impaired because he chose to disregard the clustering. In fact, sinabi pa niya sa kanyang reply ay good for her. Pangalawa po,
please wind up. We will just limit the manifestations and discussions to 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. I will wind up, sir. There are several charges that were based on internal processes and are still pending before the Supreme Court. Ulit po, I take my position that this is insufficient to establish grounds for impeachment. Yun pong mga decisions at processes ng JBC at ng Supreme Court ay eternal procedure at processes nila. So tingin ko po ay hindi siya impeachable. Marami pong grounds na binanggit si Attorney Gadon na kahit po sa kanyang reply, hanggang ngayon ay hindi pa ho nagme-mention ng particular provision ng Constitution to warrant culpable violation of the Constitution. And his ground is culpable violation of the Constitution. Charges 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, 4.8, 4.9, 4.10, 4.10, 4.11. Hindi ba dapat i-dismiss natin ang mga allegations na to? Dahil wala naman po siyang binabanggit na violation ng Constitution, and yet, ang ground po niya ay culpable violation of the Constitution. Marami pong allegation si Attorney Gadon na naghihintay lang ng ebidensya. In fact, sinabi niya mismo sa kanyang reply na these are all evidentiary and will be established later. Kung babasahin niyo po ang reply niya, marami siyang binanggit, appointments sa Supreme Court, appointments ng mga judges na sinabi niya, these are all evidentiary and will be established later.
Thank you, Your
because
Honor.
these are all based on documents and news reports. So I say, Mr. Chair, and I object to the motion to vote on the sufficiency of this impeachment complaint based on sufficient grounds.
Thank you for that. Any other objection?
Mr. Chairman, I object. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Si Congressman Villarin first.
Well, Mr. Chair,
Di ba? For a while, di ba?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. We are in the process of voting, and we cannot be interrupted unless by objection from a member to explain a vote. Non-members cannot make explanations now because it will derail the voting. I don't think the gentleman is a member of this committee, so he cannot interrupt the voting, Mr. Chairman.
yeah, but Mr. Chair, as a member of the House and during the last proceeding, I was also allowed to object when we had
There will
discussions.
be a time for that when the matter is brought to plenary. For today's hearing, this is only for members only, and there being a point of order which is well taken, the chair will not allow you to.
I will cite the particular rule, Mr. Chairman. Kasi po, if we allow non-members to attend and I mean, they are allowed to attend, listen, but to discuss in the committee, we will be flooded, and the committee will not be able to move. If, for example, we only have 55 members here and 100 non-members come here and will all speak, the committee will not be able to progress. This is Section 7 of our rules on membership duties. The primary duty of members is to legislate. In order to fulfill this duty, the members shall, letter B, attend plenary sessions and meetings of committees of which they are members, or where their proposed legislative measures are under consideration. So yung non-member po, it's no duty to be there, it's no right to be there, and it cannot, especially in this particular case where there is a motion, duly seconded, there was an objection. I did not even hear a second to the objection because second, okay. So we cannot now listen to members because non-members, it will derail our voting. I now move for the previous question, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So the chair would now recognize any objection from any member of this committee. Congressman Belmonte.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I likewise object, and thank you, Majority Floor Leader, for recognizing that I'm still a member of the committee. I would have really preferred that we go over the grounds on the individual allegations. I understand the point of Justice Veloso that we just have to determine the allegations. Nonetheless, I do have questions. For example, for the first point on culpable violation of the Constitution, 3.1.1 says she falsified the resolution of the Supreme Court in AM number 1211-9-SC. The complainant has not presented a single piece of evidence which would show that the November 27 resolution did not accurately reflect what transpired during the Supreme Court session. For example, Mr. Chair, I can go further. 3.1.2, Mr. Chair, she falsified the temporary restraining order of the Supreme Court in GR numbers 206844-45. I likewise think that this ground should be dismissed for insufficiency, Mr. Chair. No TRO was falsified, as the records would bear out. I can go on and on, point by point, Mr. Chair. However, I really think that there are no sufficient grounds, at least on the first allegation, on the first ground, and on the others, Mr. Chair. I could use up more of my time, Mr. Chair, but in deference to the rest of the members. If we go one by one, we can go over all the points, and I am confident that we would not find any sufficient grounds to
point of order, Mr. Chair.
Grounds. Thank you for that, Congressman Belmonte. What is the point of order?
The point of order, Mr. Chair, is that we should religiously follow our rules, as already articulated by Kong Veloso. The only issue, the very simple issue, Mr. Chair, is for us, first of all, to determine whether the complaint alleges sufficient grounds. That is the only issue. We are not yet getting into the details of whether or not there are substantial evidence supporting its allegation. But it says here purely, Mr. Chair, we have been furnished, all of us have been furnished with the copies of the complaint, the response, the reply, and the rejoinder. And it is our duty to appreciate all this by ourselves. Personally, Mr. Chair, I believe, reading all these documents given to me, the complaint sufficiently alleges ground for impeachment. And that is the only issue that we should vote now. That is the rule.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you for that. In fact, let me just clarify. The Secretariat had done preliminary work on this, and some of the preliminary findings that we need to seek clarification on are those points that you raised, and therefore that is why there is need for a hearing. And under the rules, if we find that there is need for a hearing after we deem the matters as there being sufficient ground, then that is the time that we will be able to clarify this. But at this stage, there is nothing that we can conclude on, because these are simple denials. Like, for example, on that point, AM number 1211-9SC, the remarks here, or the findings, preliminary findings, that there is a need for clarificatory hearing based on the following: the existence of the administrative matter previously issued by former Chief Justice Davide, because this was raised, and but there was no or this was raised in the answer of CJ Sereno, but there was nothing appended on this particular administrative matter of the former Chief Justice Davide. And then there was a mention of a notes and some report of the division, the clerk of court of the Supreme Court. But again, this is a matter that ought to be clarified on by this committee, and consistent with our mandate as prosecutors. There is need for clarification, and this is the reason why we are now at that level of determining whether there is sufficient ground, not only for purposes of impeachment, but to conduct further hearing as provided under our rules. And this is the reason why we have coercive powers. We have subpoena powers to subpoena even the BIR, because there appears to be some discrepancies in the matter of payment of taxes, which is an allegation and which was vaguely responded to in the answer or even in the rejoinder. So again, we apply the totality rule. In fact, you were part of the impeachment team in the impeachment of Chief Justice Corona, are you not? But Congresswoman Bagao was rather. And in fact, we did not go through the whole 8 articles. We just limited ourselves to about 2 or 3, and we got the former Chief Justice convicted on just one ground. So that, it may be pointless at this time to argue thereon, so that there being a motion, unless there are other objections from members.
Parliamentary inquiry.
Mr.
What
Chair.
is the parliamentary inquiry?
Oh, we are in the
Because you
middle
mentioned
of...
my
we are
name,
in the
Mr.
middle
Chair.
of,
Can I just respond?
Mr. Chairman, we are in the middle of...
I know, but you
it
mentioned
cannot
my
be
name, sir, in
interrupted.
this explanation. We are still discussing. He was discussing, sir.
I have been recognized for my parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman.
So,
We are in the middle of voting for a motion, so it cannot be interrupted by discussions, Mr. Chair, unless it's an objection.
Parliamentary inquiry.
So we will defer the parliamentary inquiry for later. What is the pleasure of Congresswoman Bagao?
I just want to object to your statement, Mr. Chair. The impeachment complaint filed against Chief Justice Corona is not similarly situated to the impeachment complaint filed against Chief Justice Sereno. The resolution and
Definitely,
the allegation, the
it is
impeachment
different.
complaint was signed by more than one-third of the members. That's why it was brought directly to the Senate. It did not have any discussion. So
I know
just
that,
want to clarify the points that you raised.
I know that for a fact, but he was convicted on just one ground. That is the point of the chair. I am not referring to any proceeding in the House Committee on Justice. But the point is, there is a conviction just on one ground, so that under the totality rule, that is the point of the chair. We are now in the period of voting upon the motion, which is duly seconded, and there being no other objection from a member, we will now proceed with the voting. Those in favor of the motion of the Honorable Oaminal to approve the sufficiency of the grounds for impeachment, please rise.
DZXL Special Coverage.
Gentlemen, those who are against the motion of the Honorable Oaminal. Pare, sama ka? Kabilang na, boss. Ha? Hindi, nakatayo kayo eh. Against? Against ba kayo? Hindi. So with with 25 votes in favor and 2 against, the motion of the Honorable Oaminal is carried and approved. So the chair hereby declares the complaint sufficient there is sufficient ground to impeach.
The complaint alleges sufficient grounds for impeachment.
That the complaint alleges sufficient grounds for impeachment, and thereafter we will now move to the next stage, which is the determination of probable cause.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Chair.
May I move to reconsider our vote on the committee report. We earlier voted to approve our committee report, but Section 8 of the Rules of Procedure and Impeachment Proceedings provides, and I read, the Committee on Justice, after hearing and by a majority vote of all its members, shall submit its report. So we need a qualified vote of a majority of all the members. We only had 19 votes earlier, and that is not sufficient. So may I now move to reconsider?
I second the motion.
The committee report on against Comelec Chairman Bautista.
Yeah.
So there being a motion duly seconded, we will now go back to
motion to reconsider.
we will now go back and consider the motion to
Let us vote on the motion to reconsider.
the motion to reconsider, and that pertains to committee report on the case of
Bautista.
Chairman Bautista. So those who are in favor of reconsidering the vote on approving the committee report, say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, say nay. So there is unanimity, and therefore the motion to reconsider the vote thereon is hereby approved.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
In relation to the approved...
So just finish this.
Yeah.
Just finish.
In relation to the approved motion of the Honorable Majority Leader, revisiting our voting in relation to the committee report, unnumbered, against in relation to the complaint filed against Comelec Chairman Andres Bautista, I am therefore reiterating my motion for the approval of the committee report so that the required majority of all members of the committee, which is 26 out of 50 members, will be met.
Second.
Clarification, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman.
Hearing suspended for 5 minutes.
DZXL Special Coverage.
That time check was brought to you by Columbia. Happy 80th year anniversary to Columbia International Food Products Incorporated.
Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. Matthew 24:35. Ang mabuting balita ay hatid sa inyo ng MX3. Mag-MX3 araw-araw para M-Extraordinary.
Good morning, girls! Jody Santa Maria po. Ready na magpiga ng labada? Huwag ma-stress, mga bes! Mag-Cala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day. Para ang fresh mo, girl! Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Ang galing ng #1 Smart Dishwashing Paste, nasa Smart Dishwashing Liquid din. Tanggaling-galing sa presyong magaling din.
Ay, after the cooking and the eating, time na for dishwashing of the pinaglutuang masibong-masibo at pinagkainang maaaring mabakterya.
Ang misis na smart like you, Smart Dishwashing ang bagay na bagay sa iyo. May double tanggaling formula, tanggal galing ang sebo, tanggal galing ang bakterya sa presyong kay gaan-gaan pa.
Thank you!
Smart Dishwashing, tanggaling-galing! Only 21 pesos per 200-gram pack. Suggested retail price.
Smart Dishwashing. Gawa ng ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS! Good morning, girls! Jody Santa Maria po. Ready na magpiga ng labada? Huwag ma-stress, mga bes! Mag-Cala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day. Para ang fresh mo, girl! Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
BCYF, Search for Hometown Heroes. Mga bayani na nasa ating purok o barangay o bayan at palaging nasa paligid lamang natin. Mga nag-iwan ng tatak sa mga komunidad. Mga nagbigay inspirasyon sa ating lahat. Nakapagpapago o nakapagpagaan ng buhay para sa marami. BCYF, Search for Hometown Heroes. Misyon ng Benita Catalina Yap Foundation na parangalan ng ating mga local heroes. Sa dagdag na impormasyon, bisitahin ang BCYF at facebook.com o sa YouTube at bit.do/BCYF Heroes. Kasama ng BCYF Foundation, ang RMN Networks at mga participating partners para sa nationwide search for hometown heroes, ang DOST WomenCares.ph, DepEd, Ricardo G. Manabat of KPMG, Management Association of the Philippines at ang Pandayan Bookshop. Maaari din kayong tumawag sa aming pinakamalapit na RMN o IFM station sa inyong lugar. BCYF, Search for Hometown Heroes. Dito sa DZXL 558 RMN Manila, tumawag sa 882-2370 o mag-text sa 0927-771-6987. That portion was brought to you by Smart Dishwashing. Tanggal galing ang sebo, tanggal galing ang bakterya. Tanggaling-galing.
That portion was brought to you by Cala Detergent Floral Fresh. Kahit madaming labada, ang fresh mo, girl.
Good morning, girls! Jody Santa Maria po. Ready na magpiga ng labada? Huwag ma-stress, mga bes! Mag-Cala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day. Para ang fresh mo, girl! Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Good morning, girls! Jody Santa Maria po. Ready na magpiga ng labada? Huwag ma-stress, mga bes! Mag-Cala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day. Para ang fresh mo, girl! Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
For the wages of sin is death, but the free gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus, our Lord. Romans 6:23. Ang mabuting balita ay hatid sa inyo ng MX3. Mag-MX3 araw-araw para M-Extraordinary.
Pride with Fabcon. Ituloy ang bango with pride.
Ang bango-bango, ang bango-bango, ang bango ng detergent ko.
Sa pabanguhan ng detergent with Fabcon, ano nga bang mas gusto? Ayon sa research sa Metro Manila, halos 80% ng mga misis mas gusto ang bango ng Pride with Fabcon kaysa leading brand even after 24 hours. Dahil ang Pride may tuloy bango microbeads para sa bangong tuloy-tuloy buong araw.
Tuloy-tuloy bango.
Kaya misis, tuloy na sa Pride with Fabric Conditioner.
Tuloy-tuloy bango ng Pride with Fabcon ko.
Ituloy ang bango with Pride. Pride with Fabric Conditioner, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS.
DZXL Special Coverage.
Ambivalence in number. That's the position of this representation, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
The Honorable Deputy Majority Leader.
Mr. Chairman, colleagues, good morning. I have just confirmed with the staff of the Committee on Justice that for all previous impeachment cases, standard practice really has been to get the majority of the regular members of the House. So to deviate now at this point for a particular impeachment case would not hew to the traditions and past practices of this committee, Mr. Chair. So I suggest that we continue as we have always treated impeachment cases. We use the regular members of the House for the majority.
Mr. Chairman,
that
Mr.
was
Chairman.
only a manifestation, di ba? That was only a manifestation. So there is no objection, and so
I move for the division of the House of my
there is no objection, so there is nothing to divide.
I wanted to be clarified, and I took that position.
Since there is no objection, Mr. Chair, then we now proceed to the ruling of the chair.
Yeah. So we will now vote upon the
Not finish the reconciliation.
Motion to find
motion for the approval of the committee report in relation to the complaint against Chairman Bautista.
Okay, so we now go back to the complaint against COMELEC Chairman Juan Andres Bautista, and the parliamentary status is that there is a motion for the approval of the committee report and the attached resolution with amendments. So all those who are in favor of the approval of the committee report, please rise.
DZXL Special Coverage. DZXL Special Coverage.
All those against the motion, please rise. So, with a vote of 26 against, in favor, against 2 who are not in favor, the motion is hereby approved.
Mr. Chairman, I have a parliamentary inquiry.
Yes, what is the parliamentary inquiry?
Well, this parliamentary inquiry should have been recognized much earlier because it was really prejudicial to the motion to determine sufficiency of grounds. My parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman, is that whether it is the position of the leadership of the committee that a member of the House who was not a member of a committee cannot participate in the proceedings of the committee and exercise the right of voice, not the right to vote. For example, Mr. Chairman, I should have been recognized to observe that the motion to approve sufficiency of grounds was patently premature because there was no prior discussion on the grounds alleged in the complaint.
DZXL Special Coverage. DZXL Special Coverage.
I would like to state that even if one ground only would be sufficient for impeachment, then let us look for that one ground and discard the rest. That is why I was proposing that there should be voting on the individual charges, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for that.
When the committee rules said that the complaint alleges sufficient grounds for impeachment, then what are these grounds? This should be determined. This should be discussed because the rule says grounds, not ground. So there is no totality or in mass determination of this ground. But what is the point is there should be prior discussion by the committee before a vote is taken on the sufficiency of the grounds.
Thank you for that inquiry. And if I may clarify on the matter of this parliamentary inquiry, let me cite section 30 of the rules of the House. And I quote, the Speaker, the 6 deputy speakers, the majority leader, the 8 deputy majority leaders, the minority leader, and the 5 deputy minority leaders, and the chairperson of the Committee on Accounts or a member deputized by any of the aforementioned officials shall have voice and vote in all committees. On the other hand, on the last paragraph of the same section, a member who is the author of a bill or a resolution referred to a committee, or if there are several authors, the first 2 authors named in the bill or resolution or their duly designated co-authors, as the case may be, shall be considered as members of the committee of referral for the purpose and throughout the duration of the consideration of the said bill or resolution, but shall have no vote in the committee. So there is a particular provision that covers this, and that should explain your parliamentary inquiry on the matter. At any rate, this is premature. What you're saying, the Honorable Lagman, is that we need to go through these grounds one by one, and we are not yet at that stage of determining probable cause. And in fact, the committee is empowered to issue subpoena and other compulsory processes to be able to really weigh in all of these allegations and counter allegations. And so at this point in time, we do not have, we cannot as yet go into that particular portion of this investigation because, in fact, there are matters that need to be clarified, and that is the province of the Committee on Justice as the initiator of an impeachment impeachment case against any impeachable officer.
Mr. Chairman, the rules of the House do not prohibit members of the House who are not members of the committee to participate in the proceedings of the committee. It is inherent in the member of the House to participate without the right to vote if he's not a member. And traditions will be part of the rules of the House. I have been a member of this House since 1987. And the committees I have attended to, including this one, allow the participation of members of the House who are not members of the committee. Previously, even this committee allowed members who are not members of the House, who are not members of the committee, to make their objections and explain their objections. I have been a chairman.
That is a matter already on the voting objection, and this is the reason why, Your Honor, you are now recognized and you are participating in this proceeding. It is because we really respect the rights of any member, and this is why we allow participation, and we're even extensively allowing that, except during voting.
I am not asking for the right to vote. I am just asking the right to exercise the right of voice in the committee.
Mr. Chair.
And previously, I already made an observation that there should be a prior determination of the committee per allegation of an impeachable act.
Chair.
But of course, there was no member who first adopted my observation, but later the Honorable Bacau made a motion adopting my position. But that is now water under the bridge.
Yes,
that is water under the bridge because the committee has already determined that there is sufficiency of grounds for the impeachment of the Chief Justice without any prior discussion of the grounds alleged in the complaint and the pleadings of the parties.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Of course, there was a point of order already made on that point, and so the chair was constrained to rule upon it. And in the meanwhile, a supervening event, which is the motion already made and duly seconded, and that is the reason why the manifestation came in after, and that was when the motion was already made by a member of the House Committee on Justice.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Before that, is it in relation to this?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Before
also, Mr. Chair. In relation also to Congressman Nagman, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There is no debate as to the import of Section 30, Mr. Chair. Hindi naman ho kami, being non-members, we are not saying na gusto namin bumoto. Ang gusto lang sana natin i-articulate kanina na pag-usapan, no, na mga miyembro ng regular na miyembro ng komite at na mga miyembro ng kapulungang ito, no, mas in-approve, wala man lang discussion, except for the statement earlier by the chair that there are 27 grounds. Hindi nga natin pinag-usapan, ano ba yung mga grounds na yun? No? And Mr. Chair,
po tayo dyan.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair. And true that being non-members of this committee, we cannot vote, but we are also invoking our right, no? As mentioned, articulated in Section 7. It is not only our right to attend plenary sessions and meetings of committees to which we are members. The same section states that as members of the House, we should participate actively in deliberations on legislative measures. Paragraph C.
DZXL Newsbreak.
Mga kasama, narito po ang mga balita para sa oras na ito. Ang DepEd may hamon po sa mga guro. Ang kasama mo sa balita, Radyoman Angel Ronquillo.
DZXL Report.
Ngayong ginugunita ang National Teachers Day, hinahamon ng Department of Education ang mga guro na pagpatuloy ang kanilang misyon na maibahagi ang kanilang kaalaman sa kanilang mga estudyante. Ayon kay DepEd Assistant Secretary Tonicito Umali, mahalaga ang papel ng mga guro sa paghubog ng ating pagkatao. Sinabi pa ni Umali na nakasalalay sa mga guro kung anong uri ng mga mag-aaral ang maging mamamayan ng ating bansa sa susunod na henerasyon. Kasunod yan, pinaalalahanan ng opisyal ang mga guro na huwag sumuko sa anumang problema o hadlang sa kanilang pagtuturo. Inihalin tulad pa nito ang sitwasyon ng mga guro sa kanayunan at malalayong probinsya na kinakailangan kong tumawid ng bundok at ilog para lamang maturuan ang mga bata. Umaapila din ng DepEd sa mga mag-aaral na iparamdam ng espesyal na araw na ito sa ating mga guro ang pagmamahal sa tinuturing nating pangalawang magulang. Sa pamamagitan ng Globe Telecom, kasama mo sa DepEd, Radyoman Angel Ronquillo ng DZXL 558, Tatak, RMN.
Maraming salamat, Radyoman, mula po sa Department of Education, Angel Ronquillo. Miss Tula naman, naging pelikula mga kasama ang nangyaring barilan sa pagitan po ng isang hold-upper at mga tauhan ng QCPD Station 5. Unang isinumbong ng motor rider ang nangyayaring hold-upan sa Sampaguita Street, Maligaya Park sa Barangay Pasong Putik, kaya't agad silang rumesponde sa lugar. Pagsapit sa area, nakita na lamang nila ang hindi pa nakikilalang sospek kung saan agad itong nagpaputok ng baril sa kamabilis na tumagbo. Naabutan at napatay ang sospek ng mga polis. Pero isang PO1 Cesar Sabangan ang tinamaan sa kamay at paa na kasalukuyan pong ginagamot sa Commonwealth Hospital. Sitwasyon naman dyan po sa may US Embassy kung saan may nagsasagawa ng rally. Nandyan nakantabay si Radyoman Silvestre Labay.
Sumugod dito sa US Embassy ang mga militanting grupong Philippine Student o LFS at Anak Bayan kung saan ay mariin nilang tinutulan ang pagbisita ni US President Donald Trump dito sa ating bansa. Dahil dito'y naka-alerto na rin itong mga kagawad ng MPD at nakadeploy dito sa Rojas Boulevard ang Crowd Dispersal Management Unit ng MPD para patuloy na ipaiiral nila ang maximum tolerance sa kabila ng pagsasagawa ng kilos protesta. Inalampag ng naturang grupo ang mga opisyalis ng US Embassy upang iparating ang kanilang mariing na pagtutol sa pagbisita ng Pangulo ng Estados Unidos na sinabi nilang ito umano ay terorista. Si US President Donald Trump at wala anilang karapatan ang US government na panghimasukan ang internal problem ng ating bansa dahil meron tayong soberenya na dapat umanong respetuhin ng mga karatig bansa na ang Estados Unidos. Inilimbawa pa ng grupo ang pakikialam ng Amerika sa ating bansa nang manghimasok sila sa gyera sa Marawi City kung saan ay nagpadala pa ng mga drone upang maniktik sa mga teroristang grupong Maote. Paliwanag ng LFS at Sanlakas na mahigit 20 ang nagsagawa labag umano sa ating saligang batas ang pakikialam ng mga dayuhan sa usapin ng seguridad sa ating bansa. Sa pamamagitan ng Globe Telecom, kasama mo sa Maynila, Radyoman Silvestre Labay ng DZXL 558 Tatak, RMN.
Maraming salamat mga kasama, Radyoman Silvestre Labay. At alamin natin ang mga huling kaganapan mga kasama dyan po sa mababang kapulungan. Kaugnay pa rin ito sa isinasagawang hearing sa impeachment complaint laban kay Chief Justice Lourdes Sereno. Nandiyan nakantabay si kasamang Radyoman Conde Bata. Cons?
Kasamang Rod, napagbotohan na nga kanina na may sapat na basehan itong mga impeachment o itong mga reklamong inihain laban kay Supreme Court Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno at sa botong 25-2 ay sufficient itong mga grounds na inilaban sa Chief Justice. Pero ngayon, nagtatalunan kung bakit hindi man lamang napag-usapan itong 27 na aligasyon laban sa Chief Justice at partikular na nagreklamo dyan ay sina Congressman Ed Salagman at Carlos Zarate. Pakinggan natin itong nagaganap na pagdinig ng Justice.
Tasked to hear impeachment complaints. Ang members po dito, hindi pwedeng lahat ng members sasali po dito. Hindi po pangkaraniwan na committee po ito. And as pointed out by my esteemed colleague, Congressman Zarate, you can articulate faithfully on matters, legislative measures. We are not legislating here. So when it comes to legislation, every member perhaps may be allowed by the committee to speak by the liberality of the committee, but that there is no right of any member to insist that they be allowed to speak in any committee. Kasi po, madederel yung committee. Precisely, we have committees so that they can work efficiently. Otherwise, the committee of the whole na lang tayo. That's why when a committee is tasked and that has been referred by plenary to that committee, only the members of this committee are tasked to participate there. But if you request the committee and the committee allows you, you thank the committee, but you cannot demand it as a right. Because there is no, show me the right which says that any member can speak in any committee. Like I said, we have committees. If all members come here and if all 200 members here want to speak on the matter being, even in terms of legislation, the committee will not be able to work anymore. Because everybody will be manifesting, everybody will be objecting, even if they have no voting rights. So, ganyan po tayo. And in this particular Committee on Justice, nagpapasalamat nga ho kayo na naaalaw pa ho kayo dito because this is a constitutional committee specifically tasked by the Constitution to do this. Kaya nga nakalagay dito eh. The committee, after hearing and by a majority vote of all its members, shall submit its report. So maliwanag po eh, na yung members lang dito ng committee para po tayo. Otherwise, if I am an impeachable official, nahihiring pa lang sa committee, I will ask non-members, you go there, o ito, mag-object sa akin, magsalita kayo ng 3 minutes. E kung yung 200 members pupunta dito, who are non-members of the committee, will all demand that they will be entitled to discuss every item in the complaint, eh, hindi naman makakagalaw yung committee dahil 600 minutes po yun o 10 oras na magsasalita yung non-members. Hindi po pwede yun. So para maliwanag po sa in the future, this is para kung baka sa H-Red eh, hindi ka rin pwedeng pumunta doon. Eh, member ako ng House, Electoral Tribunal ito. I want to speak here o sa Commission on Appointments. Doon sa Commission on Appointments, papayagan ka ho kung magre-request ka ng Commission on Appointments. But this particular committee, para maliwanag po, ang hirap po nag-discuss kayo and your non-members. What we are voting on here, para maliwanag po kasi, is if the complaint alleges sufficient grounds. Allegation lang. Meron bang allegation? Meron. Totoo ba yan o hindi? Hindi natin alam. Kaya nga maghihiring. Kaya kung basahin nga ho ninyo yung rules, napakaliwanag nga ho eh. At this stage, we only read the complaint, the answer, the reply, the rejoinder. Meron bang facts that allege sufficient grounds for impeachment? Meron na. Tsaka tayo maghihiring. Doon natin hihimayin yan. Lahat yan. Hindi naman pala yan eh. Wala yan. Doon magaganap po yan. Eh kung gusto nyo, dito pa lang, ginaganap na natin yan, wala po sa rules yan. I will show you. You said ito po sa impeachment. Nakalagay nga dito. After the receipt of the pleadings, ito po rules eh. Affidavits and counter-affidavits and relevant documents provided for in Section 5, yung mga minensyon ko na palitan ng pleadings, or the expiration of the time within which they may be filed, the committee shall determine whether the complaint alleges sufficient grounds for impeachment. Yun lang trabaho. If it finds that sufficient grounds for impeachment do not exist, the committee shall dismiss the complaint, maski walang hearing, pag nakita, wala naman pala, and submit the report required hereunder. If the committee finds that sufficient grounds for impeachment exist, the committee shall conduct a hearing. Yan na. The committee, through the chairperson, may limit the period of examination and cross-examination. Kaya nga po, ang susunod na incident dito, sumusulat na nga sila na gusto nila, they have the right to cross-examine. They want to go to the hearing already. Prevent nyo. Gusto nyo, bawat allegation na, pagbubutuhan natin, sufficient pa. Hindi na tayo So, nandun lang po tayo sa stage na yun ngayon. At nakapagbuto na po kami. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for that. If I may just add to that, yung mandate natin is time-bound. 60 session days lang po tayo, so we cannot afford to hear everyone. And so, this being, extraordinary constitutional power.
Hindi extraordinary.
Extraordinary ito This is...
It's constitutional.
Extraordinary.
Mr. Chair, point of inquiry, Mr. Chair.
Extraordinary.
Mr. Chair?
So,
Mr. Chair,
I hope this matter has been well discussed and
invoking my right
clarified.
to a voice, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairman.
Before that, kanina si Deputy Speaker Fred.
Mr. Chairman, this representation believes that any discussion on the matters raised by Congressmen Lagman and Sarati is already a redundancy because it has already been ruled upon and voted upon by the members of the committee. But for future reference, and perhaps to enrich the records of this proceeding, let me say the following. There is no dispute that all members of the House can discuss and participate in the discussion in this committee. Except when the matter involved is on matter to be voted upon and matters on votation. Reason: they cannot participate on any discussion about matters to be voted because in the first place, they do not have the right to vote because they are non-members. Second, they cannot also vote because they are not allowed by the rules. I think that is very clear, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair?
Okay,
Mr. Chair.
Now we will proceed.
Chair. Mr. Chair.
I just want to, with due respect to my pinsan, my insan here, baka po kasi said to enrich the records, wala po talagang right of every member to really participate. Kasi nga, very clear sa rules to attend plenary sessions and meetings of committees of which they are members or where their proposed legislative measures are under consideration. Kasi po, as the chairman of the Committee on Rules, I think our committee system will be messed up if all members, non-members of the committee will insist that they have the right to speak there and debate with members. Hindi na ho makakapagtrabaho yung committee because then, especially, we have groups of independents here and they are not members of the committees, and then they will have the chance to discuss against the measure in plenary. But the Congress works through the committee system, and members of the committee are elected by plenary. So without that election po, members may be allowed to speak if the committee allows them by the liberality of the committee. But I beg to disagree that any member can demand the right to have speaking right of voice in any committee.
Thank you for that. Meron pa tayong mga
That's my
there
point,
are
Mr.
other matters that we will discuss, and this pertains to the letter request of the Chief Justice to counsel or by counsel to allow them to cross-examine, for the counsels or for the lawyers to cross-examine. And so we will have discussion on the matter, and I have the chair had already made some points here, but for purposes of a more elaborate discussion, the table is now open for discussion thereon.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Chair, my statement, my position vis-a-vis the position of the distinguished majority leader is now right for a definitive position of the committee. What I meant is that for future reference, we would like to have a definitive rule that entertaining a non-member to speak is not a matter of right, but only a matter of accommodation.
Okay. We will put that matter under study. Please submit your position paper. In like manner, everyone is enjoined to submit their position on the matter, and then we will rule upon it. But not today, because we need further study on the matter. So the matter is under study, and you may submit your position paper to the committee for further deliberation. Thank you,
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman. Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chair. The chair mentioned already that we should proceed to the other items of the agenda under other matters, and you were referring to in your preliminary remarks and the recent ruling that there are 2 communications received by this committee from the lawyers of the respondent. May I therefore ask, Mr. Chair, which of the 2 letters shall be treated first, so that the committee can be guided accordingly as to the action to be done in its corresponding communications. And with that, Mr. Chair, based on the documents furnished to all members of this committee, there were 2 letters received by the committee coming from the lawyers of the respondent, Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Serino. One was dated September 28, 2017, and the other one was dated October 3, 2017. Are we going to treat the 2 letters in one deliberations, or this must be treated one by one? May I ask the guidance of the chair? Mr. Chair, this humble representation is asking your guidance whether we will be treating these 2 letters as one, or we have to treat it one by one.
Mr. Chair,
what is your reading on the matter? Are we talking of the same thing, or is this just a reiteration of is the second letter just a reiteration of the first letter?
Yes.
Again, anyway, we will treat it as one. We'll resolve it together.
Yeah.
Vice Chair Leachon?
Yeah. In order to formalize that one, considering that the first letter dated September 20, 2017, and the other letter dated October 3, yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, the second letter is just actually an amplification and adding some more legal basis for the alleged right being requested for by the respondent through lawyers. And if we may notice, the 2 letters contain similar subject matter, and that is the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses. At this juncture, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, I would like to move that the 2 letters be considered one and the same and be treated in the disposition of this one, be treated as one. Second. Mr. Chair.
Okay, so it has been moved and seconded. There being no objection, we treat the 2 letters all together. So what is the pleasure of the body?
Mr. Chair, before we move for the proper action of these letters, this representation would like to point out what are the prayers of the respondent insofar as these two letters are concerned.
Please state it, Your Honor.
In the closing paragraph of the September 28, 2017 letter, which was reiterated on the October 3, 2017, respondent respectfully seek confirmation from this committee on the understanding of the nature of the hearing that may be conducted under Section 6 of the House Rules, and that all persons testifying as witnesses or as resource persons against the Chief Justice may be cross-examined by her counsel on her behalf. So the request is for the witness to be cross-examined by her counsel on her behalf. Corollary to that, they request confirmation of the Chief Justice's right through counsel to object to improper questions during the direct examination of complainant's witness. We likewise take this occasion to request, pursuant to Section 3, Paragraph B, Rule 112 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure, which has supplementary effect in the proceeding before the Honorable Committee, as it is not in conflict with any of the House rules. That we be provided with any evidence, testimonial, documentary, or object which has been or may be submitted to the Honorable Committee in support of the charges against the Chief Justice. Therefore, there are 3 or 4 issues which have been prayed by the counsel for the respondent. Probably, Mr. Chair, we first decide or act one by one. On the first issue, whether or not we will allow the respondent to cross-examine through her counsel the witnesses of or the resource persons against respondent Chief Justice. My motion to this effect, Mr. Chair, pursuant also.
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
With your permission, may I just kindly interject something? Because we are discussing letters here. I am at a loss why it's not a motion. Because these are lawyers of the Chief Justice. We are the Committee on Justice. We serve them a copy of the complaint with the title of the case, and they submitted their verified answer, which contains the title in the matter of the impeachment of Maria Lourdes with the heading and everything, Committee on Justice, same reply, proper heading and everything. Then all of a sudden, we receive a letter here which has no caption, no heading. Are we going to tackle this? This looks like a scrap of paper to me, because it doesn't. It says House Committee on Justice. Attention. Can you imagine? They are even calling attention. Can you write to the Supreme Court, attention, Chief Justice, and then you are requesting for something? In fact, even their dispositive portion is they are requesting something. There is no prayer. We look forward to your action on our request. Maybe teach them a little on forms. How can the lawyers be writing a letter to the Committee on Justice when they have already formally entered their appearance here by submitting a verified answer of the Chief Justice? The verified answer even contains a verification by no less than the Chief Justice. Then all of a sudden, they send 2 letters. Are there many letters more coming? Where can you find a lawyer or a respondent sending letters to the committee? So I take issue with this letter. Why are we discussing this piece of paper? That's my point.
Thank you for that. Any further comment on this?
I am Mr. Chairman. I was just interrupted by the good majority leader. And with that interjection, the motion, therefore, of this representation should be to return this letters of the council without action. Since it is not in the proper form. Well, that is the that is the position, or that is the manifestation of this representation.
Okay, we will hear
because
other
we are
comments.
asked for action.
Okay. We will hear other comments on the Honorable Roque.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Well, I share the view expressed by our good majority floor leader. Considering this is a mere letter addressed to the chair, I would suggest to Congressman Uaminal that the motion should be just to direct the chair to reply to the letter as he deems fit, because this is not a motion. So letter lang, a letter, because this is addressed to the chairman. So we refer this for disposition of the committee chairman as he deems fit.
Mr. Chairman.
But I believe it does not require any act on the part of the committee, because it is only addressed to the chairman and it is a mere letter. Thank you,
Mr. Chairman.
You know, that is my problem. It was addressed to the chair, but it never reached my table.
Mr. Chairman.
It was given to the secretariat. Anyway,
Mr. Chairman, this representation thinks, Mr. Chairman, that we don't have to act on this. We will completely ignore this. The chair need not answer this letter, because otherwise, by answering this letter, you even assume jurisdiction over the letter. Let's ignore it. Let's not exercise jurisdiction over the letter.
Thank you for those clarifications. Any other comment from any member?
Mr. Chair.
Justice.
Let me point out again that Section 16 of our rules on impeachment provides the rules of criminal procedure under the rules of court shall, as far as practicable, apply to impeachment proceedings before the House. The rules of criminal procedure, particularly the rules on preliminary investigation, require the submission of the filing of complaint, of a counter affidavit, and after that, this is the pertinent provision of the rules of court which would apply to us. Section 3, paragraph E. The investigating officer, meaning the investigating prosecutor, may set a hearing if there are facts and issues to be clarified from a party or a witness. The parties can be present at the hearing, but without the right to examine or cross-examine, period. They may, however, submit to the investigating officer questions which may be asked to the party or witness concerned. This is Rule 112, Section 3, Paragraph E. So that
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, inasmuch as our rules already provides in Section 16 that as far as practicable, we can adopt the rules of criminal procedure following the provisions in Rule 112, Section 3E, to me, would be the best option for this committee. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
If we do that, Mr. Chair.
Anyway, this is the reason why we only covered this under other matters, but at least for the guidance of the lawyers and or the parties, at least we discussed this. But then again, there were the chair is inclined not to further deliberate on this because of the points raised by the majority leader.
Mr. Chair,
parliamentary inquiry,
there is a
Mr.
parliamentary
Chair.
inquiry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Another matter. In the rules, it says that the Committee on Justice is composed of 55 members. Am I correct? Because I heard earlier that the Committee on Justice is composed of only 50. My parliamentary inquiry is, has this been filled up? Because I understand and I inquired with the Secretariat that there are only 51 members. 50
members.
50, sir. Okay. So there are 5 slots still left.
Okay.
So why don't we fill it up with appointing Congressman Lagman, Congressman Zarate, Congressman Tom Villarin as members of the Committee on Justice so that they can also participate and vote? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Objection from the Chairman of the Committee on Rules. Ma'am, can you cite the rule? It's the majority leader or the minority leader that moves for the election of members to committees on the part of the majority and the minority. Ma'am, independent members do not have membership in committees because membership in committees po, the majority members who choose not to align themselves with the majority or minority shall be considered as independent members. Precisely, the chairman of the Committee on Rules wrote to all chairpersons, citing to them the rule that any member... What rule is that? What's my letter to the committee? May I read into the records the letter of the... It says here, all committee chairpersons from the majority leader, separation of the Makabayan bloc from the majority. This is to inform all committee chairpersons that Makabayan bloc, composed of party list representatives Isagani Zarate, Antonio Tinio, Ariel Casilao, Franz Castro, Emi De Jesus, Arlene Broses, and Sarah Jane Elago have declared or has declared its separation from the majority of the House of Representatives to stand as an independent bloc. A copy of the letter of the Makabayan bloc declaring its separation from the majority is attached herewith for your reference. In view of this action of the Makabayan bloc and pursuant to Rule 8, Section 8, Rule 2 of the Rules of the House of Representatives, all committee assignments and memberships given to the members of this group by the majority have been forfeited. Kasi po, nasa rule natin. In any case, whether or not request to transfer is accepted, all committee assignments and memberships given to concerned member by the majority and minority, as the case may be, shall be automatically forfeited. So, ma'am, you cannot move for their election.
So thank you.
Sir, thank you for the information. But
in answer to your inquiry, we have 50 members at present.
50.
And the chair has no authority to add and fill up the vacant 5 positions because they are. This is a majority leadership that will make a decision thereon and to be elected by the House in plenary.
Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Kit, Congressman Belmonte first.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. First of all, I am grateful to the majority floor leader because ang dami ko talagang natututunan kay Majo. So I defer to the wisdom of the majority floor leader that the letter sent by the lawyers of the respondent Chief Justice may be considered as inappropriate in our proceedings. Nonetheless, Mr. Chair, I have to defer. I have to disagree with Justice Veloso, and maybe at the appropriate time when the chairman so agrees, when deems it appropriate, I would like to put in a motion that we do allow the lawyers, the counsels of the respondent Chief Justice to cross-examine when we go to the specific allegations. Because now, previously we've determined that there are sufficient allegations to determine grounds, sufficient grounds. And then when there are sufficient they allege sufficient grounds. When we go individually, Mr. Chair, I have to disagree with Justice Veloso. I do think that although the rules of court are suppletory, I think our own rules, if I may read them, Section 6, that's the same rules that we have used, says submission of evidence. The second paragraph is rather explicit, Mr. Chairman. It says, it finds that sufficient grounds for impeachment do not, if it finds that sufficient grounds for impeachment do not exist, the committee shall dismiss the complaint and submit the report required hereunder. If the committee finds that sufficient grounds for impeachment exist, the committee shall conduct a hearing. This is where we are going, Mr. Chair. The committee, through the chairperson, may limit the period of examination and cross-examinations. The committee shall have the power to issue compulsory processes for the attendance of witnesses and the production of documents and other related evidence. This is very different from the rules of court cited by Vice Chairman Veloso, Section Rule 112, Section 3E, where in the paragraph it is very specific. It says, but without the right to examine or cross-examine. However, our rules do say that cross-examination is allowed, only limiting the...
Mr. Chair, can I respond to that?
Before that, if I may suggest at the proper time...
At the proper time, yes, Mr. Chair.
For proper procedure,
yes, Mr.
please
Chair.
confer with the lawyers of... the Chief Justice, and then make the proper motion at the proper time.
Quick response, Mr. Chair. I am not saying that counsels of respondent Chief Justice cannot cross-examine. They can, but at the appropriate time. And that would be during trial ready at the Senate. At this point, we are just determining whether or not there are really, in fact, the parliamentary status we had was determination of whether or not the verified complaint alleged sufficient grounds. That was it. And then we will go to the hearing. When the cross-examination is mentioned in our impeachment rules, it is for the members of the committee. Because remember, we are divided into two here. Those opposing the impeachment and those defending the impeachment. Those who are defending the impeachment complaint can ask direct examination, and those opposing can ask cross-examination. But again, we are still at this point in that committee hearing, limited only to the members of the committee. That's why when our impeachment rules, because we cannot provide in our impeachment rules the Senate trial after the respondent has been impeached.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we're already discussing the content
so anyway,
of the letter.
just to wrap it up, before that, just to wrap it up, again, whatever your position is, please submit your position paper to the committee, and the position paper presenting that view of allowing cross-examination and cross-examination, and then likewise the position paper of that which is opposed to that for a more extensive discussion and better...
Mr. Chair, a little concern before we end up. Just a little concern. Because, just a little concern. May the committee be apprised, Mr. Chair, from you, just the roadmap. After this one, where do we go after this one? Well, we need to be apprised of what will happen next time.
We will set the hearing for determination of probable cause. And we have until March 20 of 2018 to complete our task. But of course, there are breaks in the meanwhile. And in fact, we will have our last session days next week before we go on a break.
Mr. Chair.
But anyway, we will conduct hearings pursuant to the rules. We will issue subpoena to potential witnesses for purposes of clarifying some points in the allegations that made us decide on the sufficient grounds to proceed with further hearing.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, my point of order is that the rule has been violated on the order of business on today's hearing. All the items in the agenda have already been disposed of and taken accordingly. So in that connection, I move to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
Second, Mr. Chair. Second.
Mr. Chairman. So the chair is overtaken by the motion.
Mr. Chairman.
But the chair is willing to discuss separately and individually with those who are interested to raise some points so that we will allow the other members to already proceed to their next task.
Mr. Chairman.
Sige po. So, anyway, hearing is adjourned. But we can pag-usapan na lang natin.
DZXL Special Coverage.
That time check was brought to you by Columbia. Happy 80th year anniversary to Columbia International Food Products Incorporated.
Ang paborito namin candy, sarap ng Mochi Gummies. Mala frutas na fruity pa. Tamis na siyang choco, ma-creamy Monami. Lamig dala ng V-Fresh at sobrang chewy frutos. Mochi, fruity pa, choppy, Monami, V-Fresh at frutos. Aming pasasalamat sa pagmamahal niyong tunay mula sa Columbia.
Happy 80th year anniversary to Columbia International Food Products Incorporated.
Good morning, girls! Jody Santa Maria po. Ready na magpiga ng labada? Huwag ma-stress mga bes! Mag-Cala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day. Para ang fresh mo, girl! Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Good morning, girls! Jody Santa Maria po. Ready na magpiga ng labada? Huwag ma-stress mga bes! Mag-Cala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day. Para ang fresh mo, girl! Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
DZXL Special Coverage.
Mga kasama, kakatapos lang ho ang pagdinig kaugnay sa impeachment complaint laban kay Chief Justice Lourdes Sereno. At para po sa mga huling kaganapan, balikan natin si kasamang Conde Batak mula pa rin po dyan sa House of Representatives. Kasamang Conde.
Kasamang Rodi, hindi nga napagdesisyonan kung ng House Committee on Justice kung pagbibigyan ba ngayong kung pagbibigyan ng komite itong hiling, yung dalawang liham na hiling ng kampo ni Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno na payagan itong punong maestrado na katawanin siya o i-represent siya ng kanyang mga abogado at payagan ding makapag-cross-examine itong mga ito sa mga saksi na ihaharap ni Attorney Larry Gadon. So nangyari, naging mahaba ang talakayan ng komite kaugnay dito, pero sa huli ay hindi rin ito napagdesisyonan at sinabi na lamang nitong si Congressman Ray Umali, ang chairman ng komite, na magpasa ng position paper itong mga miyembro ng House Committee on Justice kung ano ang magiging posisyon nila, kung pagbibigyan ba o hindi itong hiling ni Chief Justice Sereno na makapagtanong nga yung kanyang mga abogado. At nauna dyan, idineklara nga sufficient yung mga grounds ng impeachment complaint laban kay Chief Justice Sereno sa botong 25-2. With regard naman doon sa susunod na pagdinig para i-determine kung may probable cause pa, wala pang petsa kung kailan ito kasamang road. Pero sinabi kanina ni Congressman Umali na mayroong o o hanggang March 20, 2018 ay maaaring talakay ng komite ito. Itong nasabing reklamo. Kasi pagkatapos nitong determination ng sufficiency in grounds, kung may sapat na basehan nga na kanina ay napagbotohan, susunod ay yung probable cause para may akyat itong mga reklamo sa impeachment court sa Senado. Yan muna ang pinakahuling nagaganap dito sa House Committee on Justice sa pamamagitan ng Globe Telecom. Kasama mo sa kamera, Radyoman Conde Batak ng DZXL 558 Tatak RMN.
DZXL Special Coverage.
At mga kasama, inyo pong napakinggan ang special coverage kaugnay mga kasama sa impeachment complaint laban po kay Chief Justice Lourdes Sereno dyan po sa may Kongreso. At mamaya mga kasama, antabayanan ang ating mga balita sa RMN News Nationwide, The Sound of the Nation. Samantala, ang Univet Nutrition and Animal Healthcare Company o UNACO is part of the upcoming big agri-event in the Philippines, and they want to help the organizers to promote the event to attract attendees. Ito po ay isang AgriLink, FoodLink, Aqualink 2017 at mangyayari po ito sa October 5 to 7, 2017, alas 9 ng umaga hanggang alas 6 po ng gabi dyan sa may World Trade Center. 3-day event will feature booths and seminars including UNACO on the latest trends and innovations in terms of product and technology in the industries of agriculture, animal and health and food. Again, mga kasama, ito po isang AgriLink, FoodLink, Aqualink 2017 and it's gonna be on October 5 to 7, 2017, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at World Trade Center. Ang ating oras, alas 11:49 ng magandang umaga.
Good morning, girls! Jody Santa Maria po. Ready na magpiga ng labada? Huwag ma-stress mga bes! Mag-Cala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day. Para ang fresh mo, girl! Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
And my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, will forgive their sin, and will heal their land. 2 Chronicles 7:14.
Ang mabuting balita ay hatid sa inyo ng MX3. Mag-MX3 araw-araw para M-Extraordinary.
Good morning, girls! Jody Santa Maria po. Ready na magpiga ng labada? Huwag ma-stress mga bes! Mag-Cala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day. Para ang fresh mo, girl! Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Cala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Mangmoy, nandito si Aling Otsit.
Kamusta po?
Eto, 77 na, kumakayod pa rin.
77, matibay ang mga buto nyo, Nay. Sinusunod nyo tiyak ang Kumainment number 5. Uminom ng gatas at kumain ng ibang pagkain mayaman sa calcium.
Siyempre, pero kaya ako narito. Baka gusto nyong bumili ng dilis.
Yung palang naamoy ko.
Dilis, mayaman sa calcium yan. Isang tabo nga yan, Mother.
Oo ba?
Ako, isang balde.
Sundin ang 10 Kumainments para sa sigla at lakas ng buhay. Paalala ng National Nutrition Council ng DOH.
Isang makabuluhan, makatao, makatotohanan at may mapagkalingang serbisyo. Ihahatid sa sambayanang Pilipino ng B-Serbisyong Lenny. Problema sa pamilya, problemang legal, problema sa serbisyo ng gobyerno, problema sa lipunan at iba pang suliranin ng mga Pilipino. Didinggin at aaksyonan mismo ng B-Serbisyong Lenny sa RMN, Radyo mo Nationwide. Ihahatid ng pangalawang pinakamataas na lider ng bansa, ang nagsisilbing nanay ng sambayanan, si Vice Presidente Leni Robredo, kasamang batikang broadcast journalist na si Eli Saludar. Linggo, alas 9 hanggang alas 10 ng umaga, dito sa Vice-Serbisyong Leni sa RMN. Good Morning Metro Manila. Di na boring ang Sunday dahil mas pagagandahin namin ang inyong morning.
Magandang araw, Metro Manila.
Talakayang magaan, subalit malaman ng mga isyong di na pag-uusapan araw-araw. Good Morning Metro Manila, Sunday Morning Radio Talk Show.
Mas maganda raw po na hanggat bata pa. Pinapractice na natin ang ating healthy habits at syempre kung matanda na, pag-asa pa rin ito. Huwag daw pong mawala ng pag-asa dahil pwede pa naman.
Good Morning Metro Manila, Sunday Morning Radio Talk Show. Tampok ang mga pangunahing eksperto sa issue at impormasyong gumagabay.
And those small decisions in life, no, whether practical or literal, will define your life for the day and for the rest of your life. Because remember, one day is a component of the rest of your life. So what you do today, whether it's big or small, will define your life.
Good Morning Metro Manila, Sunday Morning Radio Talk Show. Kada linggo, alas 7:30 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga. Buddy Oberas sa programang Good Morning Metro Manila sa DZXL 558 RMN Manila. DZXL 558. Nangunguna sa inyong mga radyo. DZXL Newsbreak.
Mga kasama, dumako naman tayo dyan sa may area po ng US Embassy na kung saan kanina po may nangyaring rally at alamin natin mga kasama ang pinakahuling sitwasyon. Nandyan po si kasamang Rambo Labay. Radyoman Rambo Labay, go ahead, bye.
Kasamang road, humupa na itong sinagawang tension na kanina na nagpumulit na pumasok. Itong mga
anong oras ba? Anong oras na humupa?
Ay ngayon lamang kasamang road, umalis na. Itong mahigit na 20 lang naman sila. 20 lamang itong mga grupong LFS at Sanlakas na nagsagawa ng kilos protesta kung saan ay mariin nilang tinutunan yung nakatakdang pagbisita ni US President Donald Trump dito sa ating bansa kaugnay sa 31st Asian Conference sa Pampanga. At dahil dyan ay may higit yung seguridad na pinatupad.
Naging peaceful naman. Naging peaceful naman yung rally.
Sa mga road. Oo, peaceful naman yung sinasagawa nilang kilos protesta. At
wala namang mga nagbato ng pintura sa sa mga pader ng US Embassy.
Walang mga nagbato. Ang dala-dala lang lamang nila ay mga banner kasamang road. Kaya't pinagbigyan naman sila ng mga pulis, no? Hinahayaan sila, ipinatupad pa rin yung maximum tolerance at binigyan ng layang magpahayag ng kanilang mga saloobin at mga ilang minuto lamang, mga 20 minuto lamang kasamang road ay umalis na rin itong mga militanteng grupo na nagsagawa ng kilos protesta, pero nangako mga ito na babalik sila. Itiyakin nila sa pagbabalik nila mas marami. Maghahakot sila na maraming grupo daw kasamang road, no? Mahigit na 20 yung kukunin nila o hakutin ng grupo.
Pero
na
sa anong grupo ito ang nagsagawa ng rally?
LFS, League of Filipino Students at grupong Sanlakas kasamang road.
League of Filipino Students, pero galing ba yan sa iisang paaralan lang o galing sa iba't ibang mga paaralan?
Galing sa iba't ibang paaralan, pero kukunti lamang. Karamihan mga leader ang nagsasagawa ng kilos protesta.
Leader ng mga estudyante?
Leader ng mga estudyante sa Universidad ng Pilipinas, sa Far Eastern University at iba pang universidad sa Kalakang, Maynila, hindi lamang sa Quezon City, maging dito sa Maynila ay nagsagawa ng kilos protesta kung saan kinakalampag nila ang mga opisyales ng US Embassy at marine nilang tinututulan.
Mayroong Bay? Kasi diba, mga estudyante yan. At ngayong araw, ipinagdiriwang natin ang Teacher's Day. Di sana nandun sila sa kanilang mga eskwelahan at binibigyan nila ng pugay ang kanilang mga guro.
Tama ka kasamang road. Katunayan yung World Teacher's Day ay kanina nagsagawa rin, no? Ay yung mga mahigit na 20 yung teacher. Madaling araw kanina. Pero babalik daw yung mga teacher na nagsagawa kaninang mga alas 4 hanggang alas 5 ng madaling araw kanina sa Minjola, sa harapan ng Minjola Bridge. Sila ay nagsagawa alas 4 ng madaling araw hanggang alas 5. Pero babalik daw sila itong mga teacher naman, mamayang 2:00 ng hapon sa Minjo na rin. Pero itong mga estudyante, nasa halip na nasa paaralan, ay sa lansangan yung ginagawa nilang kasalabas ng kanilang salubin kasamang road na dapat sana ay tumalibang sa kanilang
pag ganun ba, no, yung mga estudyante sumasali sa mga rally, hindi naman sila excuse sa kanilang klase. So, mamarkahan silang absent.
Yes. Correct. Tama. Mamarkahan sila ng absent kasamang road.
Kasi may pasok ngayon eh.
May pasok ngayon. At kung sila ay lumiban sa kanilang mga klase, ay automatikong absent sila kasamang road. Kaya
isa pa dyan sa mga tanong, alam ba ng kanilang mga magulang na nandyan sila at wala sila sa kanilang mga klase?
Napakagandang katanungan yan kasamang road na dapat matugunan ng mga estudyante ngayon na nagsasagawa ng kilos protesta at dapat yan ang kanilang isasagot sa kanilang mga magulang dahil sila ay sinusuportahan, binabayaran para makapag-aral at makakuha ng magandang edukasyon. Pero sa kabila niyan, sa lansangan sila sasagawa ng kilos sa protesta.
Okay.
Mga ito.
Sige, bye. Thank you. Dahil papasok ng ating mga balita sa RMN News Nationwide.
Back to you kasamang Ron.
Radyo Man Silvestre Labay, mga kasama, mula po dyan sa may Manila area sa isinagawang rally ng ilang pong mga militanteng estudyante. Siyempre, pinaglalaban pa rin nila, mga kasama, yung mga ginagawa ng Estados Unidos para po sa ating bansa. Para po sa karagdagang balita at informasyon, visit our website rmn.ph. Like us on Facebook, RMN News Nationwide at Sound of the Nation. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/newsrmn. Watch us live through YouTube, DZXL 558 Livestream at Facebook Live, RMN News Nationwide, the Sound of the Nation. Antabayaran ang ating mga balita sa RMN News Nationwide, the Sound of the Nation.
Maiinit at sariwang mga balita kasama sa inyong paggising. Mga pangyayaring tunog ng pagbabalita. Sound of the Nation.
Mabuhay Pilipinas! Mga kasama, hapon po ng Huwebes, October 5, 2017. At tayo po ay live din sa WRMN New York, USA.
RMN News Nationwide, the sound of the nation. Kasama si Ron Marcelino.
Sa detalye ng ating mga balita ngayong hapon, mga kasama, nilinaw po ng Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board na gagawin ng permanente ang 40 pesos na flag down rate ng taxi sa Metro Manila at sa ibang bahagi ng bansa. Paliwanag ni LTFRB spokesperson attorney Eileen Lizada, ang dating 40 pesos na flag down rate na inilabas nitong Pebrero ay provisionary o pansamantala lamang. Ayon kay Lizada, papatak na ang Metro ng 13 pesos and 50 centavos kada kilometro at 2 piso naman kada minuto ng biyahe hanggang makarating sa destinasyon. Sa bagong formula na mananatili po ang 40 pesos flag down pero hindi na nito sakob ang unang 500 o 500 metro, gayon din ang 3 pesos and 50 centavos sa susunod na kada 300 metro at waiting na 3 pesos and 50 centavos kada 2 minuto.
Ito ho yung new formula na gagawin. Na-publish ho today. Dahil pa rin ho yung flag down natin na 40 pesos. Does not cover anymore yung 500 meters. We are on a per kilometer basis na po tayo ngayon. Meaning 13 pesos and 50 centavos per kilometer. Wala na rin ho tayong waiting time. Ito ho tayo ngayon, ang structure ho natin ay running time.
Anya, inadapt nila ang formula ng Grab at Uber pero wala ng surge sa taxi, hindi tulad po ng transport network company.
Grab and Uber, they can surge sa ngayon times 2 of their fare. Ang taxi ho, hindi ho pwedeng mag-surge. That is already 6 na lang talaga sila. Unlike sa Uber, they do a surge on the wait, on the running time. They do a surge on the computation ng fare ho. Pero sa taxi, wala hong ganon.
May patutupad lamang ang bagong fare metrics kapag naka-calibrate na po ang mga taxi at kailangan tumaan sa testing at sealing ng LTFRB. Samantala, inihain ng LTFRB sa Land Transportation Office ang mas mabigat na parusa sa mga pasaway na driver.
Kaya ngayon, ang gusto namin sa LTO, we are pushing for first offense, 3-month suspension ng driver's license.
Okay.
Second offense, 6-month suspension. Third offense, possible revocation of your driver's license or downgrade kayo to non-pro. Ito na lang ho yung paraan para at least mabawas-bawasan o tanggalin na ho natin yung mga hindi karapat-dapat na magmaneho ng public utility vehicle.
Aminado po ang ahensya, hindi magiging mabilis ang pagbabagong hinihingi ng mga pasahero sa hanay po ng mga taxi. Kasama sa pagsasaayos ng taxi ang masailalim mga driver sa training at maturuan ng disiplina sa kalsada. Bukod sa magkakaroon na po ng sariling app, isinusulong na rin ng LTFRB na magkaroon ng dashcam at CCTV ang mga taxi.
RMN News Nationwide. The sound of the nation.
Simula naman po ngayong araw, October 5, epektibo na po ang 21 pesos na aumento sa mga minimum wage earner sa pribadong sektor sa Metro Manila. Tinukoy ng Regional Tripartite Wages and Productivity Board National Capital Region ng minimum na sahod para sa non-agriculture workers ay tatanggap na po ng 512 pesos mula sa dating 491 pesos bilang kanilang arawang sahod. Ang mga manggagawa naman sa agrikultura, retail at service establishment na may hindi bababa sa 15 na empleyado at ang mga nasa manufacturing establishment na may hindi bababa sa 10 ang mga manggagawa ay tatanggap na po ng bagong minimum wage rate na 475 pesos. Hindi naman sakop ng bagong wage order ang mga kasambahay at mga manggagawa sa barangay, micro-business enterprises na may Certificate of Authority. Pinapayagan din na hindi tumalima sa bagong wage order ang mga establishmentong nakakaproblema at ang mga naapektuhan po ng kalamidad. Ang wage order number NZR 21 ay magkakabisa 15 araw makaraan itong malathala sa isang pahayagan na may national circulation noong September 20.
RMN News Nationwide. The sound of the nation.
Puputulin na po ng Department of Transportation ang 3.8 billion pesos na maintenance service contract ng MRT3 sa maintenance provider na Busan Universal Rate Incorporated o BURI. Ayon kay Transportation Undersecretary for Rail Cesar Chavez, may utos na si Secretary Arthur Tugade na i-terminate ang kontrata sa BURI dahil madalas na pagkakaroon po ng aberya sa MRT3. Bukod sa halos araw-araw na aberya, sinabi ni Chavez na bigurin ang maintenance service provider na makasunod po sa mga nakasaad sa kontrata. Inihalimbawa nito ang pag-overall at rehabilitate ng BURI ang 43 lumang tren ng MRT3 pero hanggang sa ngayon, dadalawa pa lamang ang naisa sa ayos nito. Kasama sa iba pa po mga balita, 3,000 high-powered firearms at 3 milyong mga bala na bigay ng China sa militar, mga pulis ang gagamit. Ang kasama mo sa balita, Radyoman Mulakrame, Rhea Mamogay.
Mapupunta sa special unit ng Philippine National Police ang 3,000 M4 rifle na ibinigay ng China sa Armed Forces of the Philippines. Itong inihayag ni AFP Chief of Staff General Eduardo Año matapos ang isinagawang handover ceremony ng mga armas na ito dito sa Campo Aguinaldo. Naniniwala si General Año na malaki ang maitutulong ng mga armas na ito sa mga operasyon kontra iligal na droga ng Philippine National Police. Bukod sa 3,000 mga M4 rifle, mapupunta rin sa PNP ang 3 milyong rounds ng assorted ammunitions. Ang matitira lamang sa AFP ang 70 sets ng sniper scope na malaking tulong daw sa operasyon ng militar laban sa mga terorista. Sa pamamagitan ng Globe Telecom, kasama mo sa Campo Aguinaldo, Radyoman Rhea Mamogay ng DZXL 558 Tatak RMN.
RMN News Nationwide. The sound of the nation.
Pasado na sa House Ways and Means Committee ang panukala na nagtatanggal po sa Value Added Tax o VAT sa singil sa system law sa kuryente. Unanimous ang naging botohan matapos maghain ng motion si Cagayan de Oro Representative Maximo Rodriguez na pagbotohan na ang panukalang House Bill 1616 ni Bayan Muna Representative Carlos Isagali Zarate. Ang nasabing panukala ay unang inihain noong 16th Congress ni dating Bayan Muna Representative Nery Colmenares. Good news ito para kay Zarate dahil mababawasan daw po ang bayarin ng mga consumers sa kuryente. Anya, isang kalokohan kasi ang singil na VAT sa system loss dahil hindi naman ito nagamit po ng mga consumers. Sa pagtaya, ang system loss ay 8% ng bill sa kuryente ng bawat consumer kada buwan.
RMN News Nationwide, the sound of the nation.
Impeachment complaint laban kay Supreme Court Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. Pinakitaan po ng sapat na basehan. Ang kasama mo sa balita, Radyoman, mula sa Kongreso, Conde Batak.
Kinakitaan nga ng House Committee on Justice sa may sapat na grounds ang impeachment complaint ay inihain ni Atty. Larry Gadon laban kay Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. Sa botong 25-2, idineklarang sufficient in grounds ang 27 acts o basehan ng reklamo laban sa punong maestrado. Kabilang sa mga allegation kay Sereno ay falsified resolutions, pagmanipula sa JBC list, hindi tama pagdedeklara ng SALN, paggamit ni Sereno sa public funds na ginamit sa mga biyahe at pagbili ng mga mamahaling sasakyan, pagtatalaga ng mga opisyal na hindi dumaan sa ANBank at marami pang iba. Batay pa sa komite, tamang 4 na grounds na pinagbatayan din ng reklamo kay Sereno ang culpable violation of the Constitution, betrayal of public trust, corruption, and other high crimes. Nauna dito ay minungkahi ni Albay Representative Ed Salagman na pagbutuhan isa-isa ng komite ang 27 acts na sinasabing nilabag ni Sereno. Pero tinabla ito ng komite dahil wala pa naman sila sa determination of probable cause at hindi miyembro ng nasabing komite itong Silagman. Ayon naman kay Justice Chairman Reynaldo Umali sa determination of probable cause, hihimayin ang 27 allegations laban kay Sereno. Isa lamang sa 27 acts ang makalusot ay sapat na ito para pagdesisyonan ng komite para patalsikin ang Chief Justice. Kapag kinakitaan ng probable cause ng komite, pagbubutuhan naman sa plenaryo ng Kamara ang articles of impeachment na ipapadala naman sa Senado na siyang tatayong impeachment court. Sa pamamagitan ng Globe Telecom, kasama mo sa Kamara, Radyoman Conde Batak ng DZXL 558 Tatak, RMN.
Aprobado na po ng House Justice Committee ang committee report at resolusyon na nagbabasura sa impeachment complaint laban kay Commission on Elections sa Chairman Andres Bautista. Sa botong 26-2, inaprubahan ng mga komite ang motion ni Misamis Occidental Representative Henry Oyminal kaugnay sa committee report at resolution. Una na pong ibinasura ang reklamong impeachment ni na dating Negros Oriental Representative Jacinto Paras at Attorney Ferdinand Topacio matapos itong idineklarang insufficient in form at substance. Kabilang sa mga alegasyon ng naturang mga complaint laban kay Bautista ay ang betrayal of public trust, corruption, other high crimes at culpable violation of the Constitution. Senator Antonio Trillanes hinamon po ng Malacanang na ulitin ang speech laban kay Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa labas ng Kongreso. Ang kasama mo sa balita, Radyoman mula sa Malacanang, Joyce Adra.
Hinaman ng Malacanang sa Senador Antonio Trillanes na ulitin ang kanyang speech sa labas ng Kongreso hinggil sa sinasabi nitong pagbili ng Pangulong Duterte ng impormasyon mula sa isang financial forensic expert. May kaugnayan ito sa bank records ni Trillanes na unang ibinunyag ng Pangulo. Sinabi ni Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Salvador Panelo na hindi dapat magkubli si Trillanes sa parliamentary immunity. Malinaw niyang natatakot si Trillanes sa maaari niyang karaping criminal prosecution, kaya idinadaan niya ang kanyang paglalahad ng kanyang fake information sa pamamagitan ng privilege speech. Idinagdag ni Panelo na hindi na kailangan ng Pangulong Duterte na gumastos para makakuha ng impormasyon hingga sa bank records dahil ang bilang Chief Executive at Commander-in-Chief ay automatic itong may access sa mga impormasyon na nakakalap ng intelligence network ng Philippine government. Sa pamamagitan ng Globe Telecom, kasama mo sa Malacanang, Radyoman, Joyce Poliatas Adra, DZXL 558. At ako, RMN.
Iba't ibang grupo naman nagsasabuatan na raw para ibagsak si Pangulong Duterte. Ito'y ayon kay dating Senador Bongbong Marcos. Kasama mo sa balita, Radyoman, Mike Goyagoy.
Naniniwala si dating Senador Bongbong Marcos na nagsimula ng gumalaw ng sagwatan ng iba't ibang grupo para ibagsak si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Isang tulog ng balitaan sa Quezon City, binigyan din ni Marcos na mapapansin na ang organisadong pagkilos para sila at
Kaya man, naniniwala siya na hindi magtatagumpay ang alamang pag-ibig. Pero ay nagpagtitiwala ng taong bayan sa Pangulo, natin yung resulta ng survey. Kahit kalimako sa mga group nito, ay hindi naman naglilingkod sa interest sa bayan, kundi na political ang kalanasin ay magkabalik sa kapangyarihan. Iwala pa rin naman ang taong bayan sa programa ng Duterte, partikular na ang kanyang wala pangdahan. Sa pagkakita ng Globe Telecom, ang inyong radyo mga sa pinag-insistin at gularo yan. 558 Tatak RMN.
Samantala, ouster plot naman laban kay Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, peke raw. Ayon po ito sa Liberal Party. Ang kasama mo sa balita mula sa Senado, Radyoman Grace Mariano.
Iginit ngayon ni Liberal Party o LP President Senator Kiko Pangilinan na pekeng ouster plot ang pinapangalandakan na naman ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Tugon ito ni Pangilinan sa pahayag ni Pangulong Duterte na nakikipagsabuatan ang LP sa Communist Party of the Philippines para siya'y mapatalsik sa pwesto. Binigyan din ni Pangilinan na mismong si Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana na ang nagsabi na wala silang natatanggap na intelligence report ukol sa destabilisasyon sa Administrasyong Duterte. Buong paniniwala ni Pangilinan na ang mga aligasyong walang basihan ng Pangulo ay taktika para mailihis ang atensyon ng publiko sa mga issue laban sa kanya. Kabilang anya dito ang issue ng sabwata ng Davao Group at mga sindikato ng iligal na droga sa pagpasok ng 6.5 billion pesos na shabu sa Bureau of Customs, ang korupsyon, pag-abuso ng mga pulis sa war on drugs at araw-araw na patayan kung saan biktima din ang mga bata. Ayon kay Pangilinan, sa halip na sagutin ni Pangulong Duterte ang nabanggit na mga issue ay tinatakot at pinapakulong pa umano nito ang sinuman na kumukontra at bumabatikos. Sa tingin ni Pangilinan, patungo na sa diktadura ang ating gobyerno kung hindi ito tututulan ng mamamayan. Sa pamamagitan ng Globe Telecom, kasama mo sa Senado, Radyoman Grace Mariano ng DZXL 558 Tatak RMN.
RMN News, the sound of the nation. Report.
Balita naman mula po sa Visayas, buong pamilya patay sa sunog sa Mandawi, Cebu. Radyoman mula po sa RMN Cebu, Ken Galinea.
Naitala ng Bureau of Fire Protection ang tinatayang 20,000 hanggang 30,000 pisong danyo sa pagkasunog ng isang tirahan kung saan kasamang natupok ang buong mag-anak sa barangay Tipolo sa lungsod ng Mandawi sa Cebu kaninang alas 4 ng madaling araw. Ayon kay SFO3 Arnold Lau ng BFP Mandawi City, nagpapatuloy sa ngayon ang investigasyon kung ano ang pinagmula ng apoy na tumupok sa tinitirahang bunkhouse ng mag-anak na sina Antonio Paz, 34 na taong gulang na siyang padre di pamilya, at ang ina na si Maricel, 32 taong gulang, at ang 10 taong gulang na anak nila na si Ansel J o AJ. Nakatira ang mag-anak sa dalawang palapag na bunkhouse na hindi kalayuan sa lumber yard na pinagtatrabahuan ng amang si Antonio. Natagpuan ng mga bombero ang sunog na katawan ng mag-ina na magkayaka pa sa isang bahagi ng dalawang palapag na bunkhouse. Hinala ng mga bombero na hirapan ng makalabas sa kanilang bahay ang mag-anak dahil mabilis na nilamon ng apoy ang kanilang bahay na gawa lang sa light material. Kini ang radyo man ng DYHP RMN Cebu, Ken Galinea, Tatak RMN.
At mga kasama, sa pagdami po ng internet users sa bansa, malaking tulong para mapabilis ang data connection ang paggamit po ng LTE technology. Mula sa 3G, target ng Globe Telecom na gawing LTE network ang 50% na data traffic nila bago matapos ang 2017. Plano nilang madagdag pa ng panibagong 600 LTE site ang nauna nilang gawin na 5,000 site.
Balita sa Ibayong Dagat.
Personal naman po na binisita ni US President Donald Trump ang mga sugatan biktima po ng mass shooting sa Las Vegas, Nevada. Kasama ni Trump sa pagbisita sa University Medical Center si First Lady Melania Trump, House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, Nevada Congressman Mark Modell at Nevada Senator Dean Heller na may mga constituents na napatay po sa insidente. Pinuri rin ng Pangulo ang staff ng ospital dahil sa agad na pagresponde at pagbibigay puluna sa mga biktima ng madugong pamamaril na ikinamatay ng 59 na tao at ikinasugat ng mahigit 500 iba pa.
RMN News Nationwide, the sound of the nation. Kasama si Rod Marcelino.
81 days na lang mga kasama at abay Pasko na. Ganun ho kabilis mga kasama. ang ating araw. At susunod na mga kasama sa Zamboanga, ang mga Visayan dramas natin dyan sa may DZXL RMN Zamboanga.
No te vayas, no me dejes, porque sin ti no puedes estar.
At mga kasama, yan po ang kabuuan ng ating mga balita ngayong tanghali po mga kasama ng Huwebes. At kasama niyo po sa bagong tunog ng pagbabalita ang inyong radyoman, Rod Marcelino. Antabayan at susunod na po ang ating mga balitang metro dito po sa DZXL 558. Nangunguna sa inyong mga radyo.
Ang mga nagbabagang balita sa buong bansa ay hatid sa inyo ng Sound of the Nation mula sa RMN News Nationwide.
That portion was brought to you by Columbia. Happy 80th year anniversary to Columbia International Food Products Incorporated. In Platinum Awardee.
Magandang hapon, girls! Si Jody ulit. Habang may araw pa, magsampay muna ng labada. Huwag ma-stress, mga bes! Mag-Kala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day para ang fresh mo, girl! Kala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Kala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Ang galing ng #1 Smart Dishwashing Paste, nasa Smart Dishwashing Liquid din. Tanggaling-galing sa presyong magaling din.
Ay, after the cooking and the eating, time na for dishwashing of the pinaglutuang masibong-masibo at pinagkainang maaaring mabakterya.
Ang misis na smart like you, Smart Dishwashing ang bagay na bagay sa iyo. May double tanggaling formula, tanggal galing ang sebo, tanggal galing ang bakterya sa presyong kay gaan-gaan pa.
Thank you!
Smart Dishwashing, tanggaling-galing! Only 21 pesos per 200-gram pack. Suggested retail price.
Smart Dishwashing. Gawa ng ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS! Magandang hapon, girls! Si Jody ulit. Habang may araw pa, magsampay muna ng labada. Huwag ma-stress, mga bes! Mag-Kala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day para ang fresh mo, girl! Kala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Kala Detergent Floral Fresh.
BCYF, Search for Hometown Heroes. Mga bayani na nasa ating purok o barangay o bayan at palaging nasa paligid lamang natin. Mga nag-iwan ng tatak sa mga komunidad. Mga nagbigay inspirasyon sa ating lahat. Nakapagpapago o nakapagpagaan ng buhay para sa marami. BCYF, Search for Hometown Heroes. Misyon ng Benita Catalina Yap Foundation na parangalan ng ating mga local heroes. Sa dagdag na impormasyon, bisitahin ang BCYF at facebook.com o sa YouTube at bit.do/BCYF Heroes. Kasama ng BCYF Foundation, ang RMN Networks at mga participating partners para sa nationwide search for hometown heroes, ang DOST WomenCares.ph, DepEd, Ricardo G. Manabat of KPMG, Management Association of the Philippines at ang Pandayan Bookshop. Maaari din kayong tumawag sa aming pinakamalapit na RMN o IFM station sa inyong lugar. BCYF, Search for Hometown Heroes. Dito sa DZXL 558 RMN Manila, tumawag sa 882-2370 o mag-text sa 0927-771-6987.
DZXL 558. Nangunguna sa inyong mga radyo. Sa inyo na mga umaapoy na mga balita mula sa kasuluk-sulukan ng Metro Manila. Naglalagablab na mga balita, mga umuusog na kaganapan na nakablatter mula sa iba't ibang police station aming ihahatid sa inyo. Naglalagablab na mga balita, 15 minuto na mga maiinit na balita, kasama pati ang mga nagliliyab na chismis sa mundo ng showbiz, sports update at balita sa ibayong dagat. Naglalagablab na mga balita. Narito na ang mga umuusog, maiinit, umaapoy, naglalagablab na mga balita.
Mga kasama, diretso po tayo sa ating mga naglalagablab na balita ngayong hapon po ng Huwebes, October 5, 2017, may mga sospek na po ang Rodriguez PNP sa Rizal Province na responsable sa pagpatay sa 2 college student na natakbuhan po sa madamong lugar. Ayon kay Police Superintendent Hector Grijaldo, ang hepe ng PNP Rodriguez sangkot sa pang-hold up at nakawan. Ang hindi pa nila pinangalan ng sospek. Malaki rin ang hinala nila na ginahasa ang biktimang si Charmaine Villarias dahil wala na po itong saplot. Posible ring ninakaw pa ang magkasintahang matapos na hindi na nakita po ang kanilang cellphone at pera. Na matagpuan ng mga otoridad ang bangkay. Nabatid na laging pinupuntahan ng mga magkasintahan ang Barangay San Jose dahil sa magandang tanawin sa lugar. Ang MMDA daw po muling nagkasa ng operasyon. Mga illegal vendors pinuntirya. Ang kasama mo sa balita, Radyoman Angel Ronquillo.
Muli ngang sinuyod ng MMDA ang paligid ng Baclaran Church sa Paranaque City kaninang umaga. Ngayon itong itabo yung mga vendors na nakaharang sa daanan ng tao sa bahagian ng Service Road sa Rojas Boulevard. Kabilang sa mga nasita ng MMDA ang mga naglalakihang payon ng mga vendors na nagpas na sa daanan ng mga pedestrian. Ayon kay MMDA Traffic Supervising Officer for Operations Edison Nebriha, na pagkasunduan ng MMDA at ang mga vendors sa isang lane lamang sa Rojas Boulevard Service Road ang kanilang gagamitin ng nabilang pwesto sa tindahan. Pero may mga lumalagpas pa rin sa inilagay nilang concrete barrier. Dahil dyan, kinumpista ng MMDA ang ilan sa mga lamesa at gamit na nakita nilang nakaharang at nakakaistorbo. Ayon pa kay Nebria, dahil nito na kanilang operasyon na maiwasang bumalik yung mga illegal na terminal sa Baclaran at hindi sila mabagdagan na nigas-pugon lamang. Sa pamamagitan ng Globe Telecom, kasama mo sa MMDA, Radyoman Angel Ronquillo ng DZXL 558, Tatak RMN.
Pinaghahanap naman ngayon mga kasama ng Quezon City Police District ang iba pang kasabwat ng 5 sospek na mga miyembro ng termite gang na nagnakaw sa isang bangko sa Fairview, Quezon City. Matatandaan na una na pong nadakip ng QCPD ang mga sospek na sina Jordan Duldulaw, Melbert Aligan, Alison Aligan, Gerald Dean Bawas at Ambrose Rex Layaw na muling pinaghahandaan na po na pasukin ang isang bangko sa EDSA Corner, New York Street, E. Rodriguez Avenue. Ayon kay QCPD District Director Chief Superintendent Guillermo Eliazar, na aresto po ang 5 sa tulong ng confidential informant na nagbigay ng impormasyon na sakay po ng isang SUV na may plakang AHN 858 ang mga sospek. Sa isinagawa nilang investigasyon, pawang mga hindi taga Maynila ang mga sospek at nasa 10 miyembro pa ng grupo ang kanilang tinutugis.
Kalimitan po dito, mga profile nito, ito po galing sa Benguet, sa area na yan, mga dating may minero, may alam sa pagmimina. Kasi ang kanilang modus po is maghukay hanggang makarating sila dun sa loob ng establishmento na kung saan ay target nila.
Nagsasagawa na din ang follow-up operation at investigation ng QCPD para malaman kung sila din ang responsable sa mga insidente ng pagdanakaw na may ganitong uri ng pagpaplano.
Naglalagablab ng mga balita sa DZXL 558 Manila.
Mga opisyal naman po ng gobyerno na Dilawan at Pulahan dapat daw magbitiw sa pwesto ng mga supporters ni Pangulong Duterte. Ang detalye, kasama mo sa balita, Radyoman Silvestre Labay.
Hiniling ng isang grupo ng mga taga-suporta ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte na magbitiw na sa pwesto ang mga sinagurian nilang mga dilawan at mga pulahang opisyal ng gobyerno. Sa isang pulong balitaan, tinukoy ni Professor Melvin Litra, chairman ng Liga Independensya ng Pilipinas, ang mga tinagurian nilang mga nakikipagkutsabahan para lalo na lamang gumulo ang sitwasyon ng bansa. Kabilang narito sina Lisa Masa, Attorney Terry Ridon, Dole Undersecretary Joel Maglunsod, na tinagurian nilang mga pulahan. Habang ang mga dilawan naman ay sina Commission on Human Rights Chairman Chito Gascon, Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno at Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales. Ayon kay Mitra, kailangang gumulong ang investigasyon laban sa mga dilawan. Kasama na rito ang impeachment complaint laban kina Chief Justice Sereno at Ombudsman Carpio Morales, habang marapat lamang ang grupo na magbitiw na sa pwesto si Gascon dahil sa taliwas ang paniniwala nito na pinag-igting na kampanya ng Pangulong Duterte sa illegal na droga. Ginagamit din umanong isyu ng mga tinaguriang dilawan at mga pulahan sa gobyerno ang mga usapin ng independent foreign policy ng gobyerno, tensyon sa West Philippine Sea, pagguho ng usapang pangkapayapaan sa pagitan ng gobyerno at ng CPP, NPA, NDF, problema sa MRT at sa trapiko, kontraktualisasyon at kararampot na aumento sa sahod ng mga manggagawa upang pagningasin umano ang galit ng mga taong bayan laban sa gobyerno. Sa pamamagitan ng Globe Telecom, kasama mo sa Maynila, Radyo Man, Silvestre Labay ng DZXL 558 Tata RMN.
Thank you very much, Radyo Man. Bye. Silvestre Labay. China naman ay giniit na sincero daw po sa pakikipagkaibigan sa Pilipinas sa kabila ng hindi pa maresolbang issue sa West Philippine Sea. Kasama mo sa balita, Radyo Man, Rhea Mamogay.
Porsigido ang gobyerno ng China na magkaroon ng mas sinserong relasyon sa Pilipinas. Ito kahit na may nananatiling tensyon, kaugnay pa rin sa issue sa West Philippine Sea. Ayon kay China's ambassador to the Philippines, Zhao Jianhua, ngayon ay mas maiging ituon ng mga Pilipino ang atensyon sa mga ginagawang pagtutulungan at pagkakaibigan ng China at Pilipinas. Anya sa ngayon maayos na napag-uusapan ang issue sa West Philippine Sea at naniniwala siyang maayos itong maayos ito sa mapayapang paraan. Pakinggan natin ang bahagi ng panayam kay Ambassador Jianhua.
We're all intelligent people, that we know how to handle our own problems in a way that is peaceful, friendly, that is acceptable by both sides.
Ang China ay isa sa mga palabang bansa na umaangkin sa mga isla sa West Philippine Sea, pero sa pagpasok ng Duterte administration, naging tila maayos ang relasyon ng Pilipinas sa China. Sa katunayan, kanina aabot sa 22 milyong dolyar na 3,000 M4 rifle at 3 milyong rounds ng assorted ammunitions at 70 set sniper scope ang ibinigay ng China sa AFP. Patunay daw ito ayon kay Ambassador Jianhua na sincero sila sa pakikipagkaibigan sa Pilipinas. Sa pamamagitan ng Globe Telecom, kasama mo sa Kampo Aguinaldo, Radyo Man, Rhea Mamogay ng DZXL 558 Tatak RMN.
Magbibigay naman po ng libreng sakay ang Light Rail Transit Line 1 para sa mga senior citizens sa linggo, October 8 bilang paggunita sa Elderly Filipino Week. Ayon sa operator nito na Light Rail Manila Corporation, libre pong sakay ng mga ito sa lahat po ng 20 istasyon ng LRT1 mula sa Baclaran hanggang Roosevelt. Ang unang trip nito ay aalis po sa mga istasyon ng 4:30 ng umaga, habang ang last trip naman ay pa-northbound ay aalis sa Baclaran ng 9:30 ng gabi. At ang southbound naman ay aalis sa Roosevelt ng 9:45 ng gabi. Para makakuha ng libreng single journey tickets, mga kasama, kailangan lamang nilang ipakita ang kanilang senior citizen ID o anumang ID na may nakalagay na petsa ng birth date. Para naman sa mga My Stored Value Cards, tumungo lamang sa mga on-site tellers para ma-activate ito at upang hindi mabawasan ang load na laman nito.
DZXL Sports News.
At para naman sa ating balitang sports, abay nagbigay po ng kanya-kanyang reaksyon ng iba't ibang player sa pagpalit po ng format ng 2018 NBA All-Star Game na gaganapin sa Los Angeles. Imbes kasi na sa traditional na Eastern versus Western All-Star, ay ang mga ball captain na po ang pipili ng kanyang mga manlalaro. Ayon kay Golden State Warriors star Stephen Curry na ang bagong format ay madadagdag po ng panibagong excitement, pero nakulangan naman ang coach nito na si Steve Kerr kung saan nagsuggest ito na dapat gawing 24 na manlalaro sa bawat koponan ang piliin at hindi na lamang ang tig 12. Balitang showbiz naman tayo.
Mare, masyado kang usisera.
Correct!
Bungangera ka talaga.
Showbiz!
Showbiz Balita. At para sa ating balitang showbiz, mga kasama, eto na po. Eto na po siya, oo. Wala na ngang iba.
Wala na nga iba.
Wala nang iba dahil wala na pong ibang magsushowbiz. Yun.
Ay, grabe.
Hindi.
Parang wala na talagang option, kaya sige, go na lang.
Ay, batiin ko muna ang si Sir Bong Bue. Isa to sa mga mentor ko dati sa Zamboanga. Ay, sir. Professor from Western Mindanao State University. Nanonood sa ating FB Live.
Diba yung dialect sa inyo, Sir Rod, parang Spanish?
Yes, so.
Good afternoon na.
Nag-iisa yan sa buong Pilipinas.
Nag-iisa lang ba? Walang katulad.
Walang katulad. Meron sa Cavite ata pero hindi na gaano ginagamit nila, no? Yung Chabacano.
Ay, my goodness. Chabacano.
Alright, eto na.
Ito na.
Ano bang pangalan ni Iha? Iha, ano bang pangalan?
Gusto ko yung ang tagal na dito, hindi niya ako kilala. Lane Terrific.
Si Elaine.
Yes. Good afternoon, mga kasama. Narito nating showbiz news. Inamin ngayon ng showbiz couple na sina Ding Dong at Marian Rivera Dantes na bihira na silang magkita sa kanilang bahay. Nabatid kasi na kapwa may pinagbibidahang mga teleserye ang dalawa kaya't nauubos ang oras nila sa shooting. Pero ayon kay Ding Dong, bagamat busy at halos wala ng oras, sinusulit naman daw nila ang mga panahong nagkakasama sila ni Marian. Iniisip na lang daw nila ni Marian na hindi naman pangmatagalan ng showbiz kahit hanggang kaya ay mag-iipon sila para sa kanilang kinabukasan at sa nag-iisa nilang anak. Thankful din sila sa kanilang mother network dahil naiintindihan at may pangangalaga sila sa mga artistang mayroon ng pamilya.
Okay, sige.
Ang taray, umaarangkada yung nitong dalawang to. At yan natin showbiz balita.
Sino yung dalawa? Si
Marian tsaka si Ding Dong, yung career nila. Para sa showbiz news, Rajuman Lane Terrific ng DZXL 558, Tatak RMN.
Thank you very much, Miss Elaine. Mga kasama, dating beauty queen po yan. Natawa siya. Oo nga, di ba dating title holder?
Dating butik.
Basta wag nyo nang alamin kung ano ang kanyang title. Thank you very much, Sir Bong Bue. Opo. Gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, ako din po proud. Isa kayo sa mga mentor ko dyan sa Zamboanga. Professor Bong Bue from Western Mindanao State University. Alright, mga kasama, balitang panghimagas naman tayo. Okay, eto na ang ating intern from anong school?
From Malayan Colleges Laguna po.
From Malayan Colleges Laguna. Sige, batiin mo muna yung mga classmate mo at sa guru mo.
Opo, kasi, mga Happy Teacher's Day. Teacher's Day po ngayon.
Si Sir Bong Bue, Happy Teacher's Day, Sir Bong.
Opo. Binabati ko po yung mga taga-Malayan, yung tsaka mga kapitbahay ko po at mga kapamilya ko po na nakikinig ngayon.
Pati yung karating barangay nyo na rin.
Opo, ating mga kasama.
Si Kapitan.
Mga Kapitan, opo.
Ito yung nagpapafeeding program dyan.
Sige, Iha, ang balitang panghimagas natin ngayong tanghali, ngayong hapon.
Ayan. Sige. Sa South Korea, inilabas ng isang telecom company ang kauna-unahang mosquito-repelling cellphone. Ang LG K7i ay unang ipinakita sa India Mobile Congress kung saan hindi mo na raw kakailanganin ng mga chemicals para lamang maitaboy ang mga lamok. Sinasabing naglalabas ng 30 kHz ultrasonic waves ang speaker na nasa likod ng cellphone kaya't hindi na makakalapit pa ang mga lamok. Hindi rin daw ito delikado sa kalusugan ng mga tao. Mabibili naman ang nasabing gadget sa halagang $177 o 9,027 pesos at nakatakda na rin itong i-market worldwide. At iyan ang ating balitang panghimagas ngayong tanghali. Ako po ang inyong Radyoman, Cariza Maykez para sa DZXL 558, Tatak RMN.
Thank you very much, Cariza, at kay Elaine, mga kasama. Si Susan din, Oy Sanzo from Hawaii, nanonood sa ating FB Live. Ingat kayo dyan sa may Hawaii. At si Mama Kelly, yung isa pa si Ma'am Evelyn from Maryland, na parating nandyan po sa ating FB Live at pinapanood po tayo. Anyway, 12:38 ng magandang hapon, mga kasama. Susunod ang inyong mga paboritong awitin sa Music and Memories. Opo. At ako po ay magbabalik mamayang alas 4 para sa RMN News Nationwide, the sound of the nation. Wala na to, tuloy-tuloy na to. At bukas ng umaga mga kasama, may straight to the point pa rin po tayo, alas 6 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga. Ako pa rin po ang kasama ninyo. Opo, so anyway, mga kasama, maraming salamat din, Sansu. Alright, thank you very much parang Kiko, kay parang Ricky, at kay parang ano bang pangalan mo, iho? Si parang Jackson, yung mga tumutulong dito sa ating programa mga kasama para mas lalo magiging maganda po yung ating yung mga nakikita ninyong graphics ngayon sa ating FB Live. At meron din tayo sa TV channel 309 po. Live po mapapanood ang ating programa. So anyway, mga kasamang inyong lingkod, Radyoman Rod Marcelino.
Back to Christ.